welcome back, sir. Welcome back, Master Ben O'Neill.
Good to be back.
So for those who don't know, we recorded this podcast already, but my fault. I ended up just absolutely butchering the audio. So we are here to re-record it, and I'm gonna literally follow the script from the last one and say every word exact.
You have one?
No, I'm joking. So, yeah, that sounds about right. No, I'm just being an absolute crazy person. Welcome back, sir. How are you doing?
I am very good. I am so good.
Great.
Excellent.
I'm glad.
Part of lockdown that just isn't going to end, but we won't even talk about that, Dylan.
No, we're going to avoid that because do you know what that's going to do? That's going to bring negative energy into our brains, and our brains have to be pure and clean. Nah, the lockdown it definitely is a bit of a suppressing factor, I would say, because it just seems to be relentless now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Bro, like we've been in lockdown for a year now. A year.
Yeah. Which I seen a number on like some news channel the other day, and it says we've been in like continuous lockdown for 153 days. Or no, maybe not continuous, like all together.
Yeah.
Which is what it's like the highest in Europe, highest in the world.
It's a third of the year, but somehow we're not beating it. What are we doing wrong? What is happening? Because we're not doing a good job, clearly. Because I have a friend in Australia, and I was chatting to him this morning, and he was sending me videos, and bro, they're nightclubs, no masks, crowded places. Bro, he said there's no COVID there. It's non-existent, and we're here, and we can't go to the shop without wearing a mask because everyone in Ireland has COVID, apparently.
And people are jogging outside with masks on. Like, what? I've seen it multiple times now. Like, people are jogging with a mask. It's like, come on.
Bro, maybe they're trying to do oxygen, like, deprivation training.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. Yeah. It's not like, they're definitely not Karens anyway.
Yeah, definitely not at all. Definitely wouldn't call you a bitch if you didn't let them into a shop for not wearing a mask. Definitely not. Look at us absolutely tearing into anti-maskers already off.
No.
No, I do not associate with that. No, but let's get into some real talk. I don't know what the real talk is. There is no real talk. It's just chat, isn't it? But
read from the script, bro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Creative boy with cameraman.
Yeah.
Creativity.
So creative man with camera. Like Siri recording back to like. No, but actually, that's a good topic. Ben O'Neill released a video that he made with a Tesla, and it's a banger. I must say, sir, it's very good. Very good. Are you happy with it?
Thank you. So I always get these ideas. Like every few months, I get these ideas, and I'm like, okay, I need to execute this ASAP. And I'm like really impulsive. So the second I have an idea, like Tesla booked, everything like booked, I'm good to go. Like, sorry, whoa, the coffee hit me. Woo.
You're all good. I like the energy. It is coffee.
You know when you're thinking like 20 lines before you actually speak, and then you're like, I don't know how to speak. I always do this. I'm thinking way too like manically.
Yeah. To try and like actually like catch your thoughts as they're flying.
It's
like
weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I had the Tesla idea for like a commercial.
Yeah.
But I was feeling like, I guess like uncreative. Like I didn't really feel any creativity like in like the last 2 months, which is like, you know, like sometimes you go through a time and you're like, fuck. Like, I don't know how I'm going to get this back because you know it's inside. You're like, I know who I am. Like,
yeah. Like, but you kind of go through, personally, at least if I go through those points, I kind of go through a bit of like imposter syndrome, and I'm like, oh, maybe that was just a phase. Maybe I amn't creative anymore. Do you get that?
Phase, mom.
Yeah. It was just a phase. I'm selling my camera. No. Yeah, that's quite interesting because I do think it's very easy to fall into those little traps as well. But like considering the fact you executed that video excellently, I thought. To be honest, I think that's the best video I've ever seen you make.
And you know what? I actually got like, when I made it, I was like, so when I was shooting it, I was like, oh shit, I know what I want this to look like now. Mm-hmm. But I didn't have like a location or the right equipment to like execute. But I was really happy because I was like, I know what I want to do for next time. So I think I'm going to make another video in like a month or two because I have this idea for my portfolio. Yeah. And I just want this like perfect video on my website, on the homepage. So when people click, they're like, oh. And I just have this idea that I need to execute. But that video is just like, a little something for Instagram on my website, I guess, because I was like, oh, I might as well put it out. And I actually got good feedback as well. Like a lot of people were like, whoa, that's so good. I'm like,
You see, I think this is this is potentially a controversial opinion. I think footage like that, and I think you might agree with me here, is easier to get than putting together a creative script, but yet it's more appealing to the common viewer because they don't understand the detail that sometimes we might think. And not to say that the common viewer, I don't mean that as if you're a common person. I mean, like, if someone painted a beautiful painting and it took them days, I wouldn't be able to tell. If you created a masterpiece of a video with loads of transitions, SFX, I'd be like, whoa, he put time into this. But those still smooth shots just are so appealing across the board, I think.
You nailed it right there. Once, this is my opinion, once someone sees a hype brand like Tesla or Louis Vuitton, they're like, ooh, shit. But like, to me, I'm like, what? I just slowed down 60 FPS footage. And I did this a few times.
Yeah.
Like,
isn't it funny?
So basic, but I knew putting out on Instagram that I would get like good comments and good feedback, and I did get them. And it's like, it's fine because it's like, thank you for the good feedback. I'm always trying to get better. And like, me doing that little project was just like, I know what I'd want my Tesla commercial to look like now.
Of course.
But it's funny because I noticed that a lot. Like, once you add a brand, everyone's like, you're amazing. I'm like, I'm not amazing. Like,
it's interesting though, because it's never something that I've personally thought about. I've never thought to like rent out a Tesla, or you've made a video with 3D as well. I would never have thought to just get 3D cans to make a commercial out of them, because I'm like, why would I do that? But that's a bad mentality that I have, because I'm like, I'm not in affiliation with this brand. I'm not part of this brand. Why would I make it? But then it's like, well, isn't that really how you get to work with those brands? Because they see you work with their stuff and they're like, holy shit. And it's something interesting that I would definitely say you've kind of brought to my attention more than I would have had before. It's like you've never worked with Tesla as of yet, but you getting that car and making that video, it's a great, because Teslas are just beautiful cars. So it's a great model as per se. It's like if you hired a model out to do a photo shoot, it's the same sort of concept, which is really interesting.
And I guess it depends like what you want your goal to be. Like, my goal would be, oh shit, it froze.
It's all good.
Wait, you still here?
I'm still here. I just stayed quiet because I knew it would catch back up. Sometimes there's just like a little spike of lag, but now you're all good.
Oh, you know, I have Ethernet now. I was so pissed off with Wi-Fi. I bought like a 25-meter long Ethernet cable. Boom. And usually I'm good now. Like, this connection's pretty good, I feel. It's
stable. Last podcast I did with Rob, my connection was so bad that it disconnected mid-call. And I was so embarrassed. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, really?
It worked out in the end anyways. It is a pain, but it is what it is. Working from home, remote learning. Learning, look at me, is advertising the University of Limerick, like. Remote learning.
Wait, what did I just say? I want to finish that point.
Oh, bro, you were talking.
Oh yeah, everyone wants like different. Everyone has a different angle, but mine is like really commercial.
Yeah.
You know, that way, like, I don't care about, even though I could do, like, for an example, it's very easy to do like 4 or 5 really small jobs during the week.
Yeah.
But I just care about like the big jobs.
Yeah. I know.
And like, and that's like where I want to go in life as well, because it's like, I know two types of people in videographer people.
Yeah.
Like, one type is like everyday jobs, like record, edit. And one is like one project for a 2-week period. And for me, like, I'm just into that because I'm like, whoa, that's way better.
Yeah.
Or I guess like I like putting more, or trying to put more like thought into things. You know what I mean? So, well, like, that's where I want to go. Like, that's my direction. I'm not really doing it at the moment, but like my direction is to go there.
But it's great to have that direction. Like, it's great. It's interesting because like I think before I started working in the Go House, that was kind of where I was trying to push towards, was like landing big jobs. But I was just trying to land jobs as it was, and I found it really difficult down in Wicklow. And it's not Wicklow's fault, it's my fault. I think I just wasn't networking correctly. Now if I think about it, I would definitely go about it a different way. It's just trying to go about it now. It's just with college and stuff, it's not the most like time wise, but I'm also trying to put a bit more energy into YouTube now. But I think the fact that you have that direction and you know that this is your end point, it sets you up for success, rather than being like, oh shit, I don't know what kind of videos I want to make. You're going to end up task switching too much, and then your style will deviate. Whereas if you're like, I want to make longer, more in depth, more detailed, more structured edits, that will come through in your work.
Yeah. And I think you need to try everyone needs to try everything, that way. Absolutely. Because like I've been doing, like I have a camera now for like 4 years, and I say like each year I did something completely different. So now I feel like I have a good understanding of like different areas of like, like sub niches, I guess.
Yeah.
Like this is short film, these are hype reels. Like booking corporate interviews.
Yeah.
I mean? So now I'm like, I understand what I want to do, as in like, what content do I want to make? Yeah. I know that now, which makes me really happy, because I'm like, let's go.
That's great to have. What age are you?
22.
22. To have that understood now is so good. Like, that could be something that someone mightn't figure out till like they're in their late 30s. Like the fact that you can't, but again, who knows, that could change in a year.
It can always change.
But I think you do honestly have your eyes set on that, and you're hungry for it, which I can even hear it in how you're speaking about it, which is great. And like that will 100% come through. Like I feel like within the next year or two, you'll start to see those sort of projects rolling in. And then before you know it, you'll be like booking them in, and you'll be like, okay, well, I can't do this one because I've got too many. So I'll push that off, which is great. Speak shit into existence and execute. Murder. Boom, bitch. Execution. Can't believe I just said boom, bitch. Who do I think I am? That's nuts, isn't it?
What's the next point on your long list?
On my long list. So I have a lot of things.
Okay, actually, can I just say one last thing?
Yeah, fire off, bro.
After that video of my little Instagram Tesla video, I seen a video you made. And I don't know what it was, but I remember there was a clip of pen and a book, and it was with really good sound design. And like most people might look at my video, look at your video, and be like, "Oh, Ben's is better because it has a brand." But in any like creative person's eyes, your video was like 1,000 times better, because like the detail was fucking ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie, when I seen that video, I didn't think it was yours.
Really?
That's awesome. I thought it was like Sam Calder's or something.
What, bro?
I don't know what story. There was a sequence in it that I just went, holy shit, that's good.
Thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I was the kind of, it's weird because I wouldn't agree now necessarily that it's 1,000 times better than yours. I think they were different areas. I think
they're different. Yeah.
The video you made would land you 100,000 deal with Tesla, and the video I made would maybe get me maybe if Sam Calder saw it, he would like it on Instagram. If you get me. If you get me. But that's funny you say it's like Sam Calder, because I literally watched the Sam Calder video, and there was a scene in it where he did this part of flipping open a piece of paper and writing in it, and he did like a tracking shot pulling across with the paper. I was like, that is so sick. So I was like, how can I kind of spin it off? And that's where that writing shot came from. That's so funny that gave you Sam Calder vibes.
The cool thing about that was like, not that I'm like judging your work, but after watching that video, I went down your page and watched your other videos, and I was like, holy shit, he improved so much.
Thank you so much.
Like instantly, it was like a video of this standard, and then next of all, it was like boom. And then I looked at your YouTube, and I was like, you're uploading like every week or twice a week. It makes perfect sense. Like you literally just did more, and suddenly the quality is also way better. It's like, whoa.
Thank you.
Like that's just practice. Like, you know, like it.
Yeah. to hear that though means a lot, genuinely, especially coming from like a videographer. It means a lot, because you see that, like that kind of a video I didn't really expect to do well on Instagram, because I think I'm trying to use Instagram now as like an added bonus to social media, but before it was my focus, whereas now YouTube is a better platform to me to focus on, because it just allows me to have more creative freedom. You know, I don't have to make a snappy fast video. But yeah, that video was the first I filmed with my Sony. It was the first time I used my A7, and I was just like messing around with it, trying to understand it, like messing with 4K 120 FPS.
Yeah.
And I shot it all in S-Log because I wanted to grade it properly, because I think that's my favorite process of video, is grading. I love it. It's so fun. And I tried using Final Cut to grade it and wanted to pull all of my hairs out of my head. So I went back to DaVinci. It just is the best. I think this is my opinion. I think DaVinci is great for an edit like that, because you don't need to worry too much about fast throwing your clips into your timeline. It's more so like dragging, dropping, and then your node tree that you have the options with is just crazy.
I might try DaVinci, because I started shooting an S-Log tree.
Yeah.
And now I'm like I just can't grade it. I literally, like, sometimes it looks amazing and sometimes it looks like dog shit. I'm like,
no, I
actually don't know what I'm doing wrong either.
I would 100% recommend S-Log. I'll actually link you some videos that I found made a great help for me. But like things like exposing to the right, shooting an S-Log 2. I haven't tried S-Log 3. I shoot an S-Log 2 or Cine 4 Pro. I think Jake actually told me, and then I was talking to you about it. So Jake was saying that he shot in Cine 4, I think.
Yeah, that's the one I use too.
Yeah,
most people use that on Sony. It's just like usually the easiest and best.
It's nice. It's a nice sweet spot between being customizable and also being not too far left. Like S-Log is hard to grade because you're literally pulling an image back, and but it leaves you so much room for possibility though. That's what I could not get over, like the shadow, the detail and stuff. But no, thank you so much though. I genuinely really appreciate that. It made me feel warm in my belly when you told me that.
You know, like sometimes I always want to give feedback to people, but then I'm like, I feel like just so many people are up people's like holes, and they're like, your work's so good, and I just never want to be that guy. Like I always want to try give it to someone in the most like authentic way, because when I feel like, oh, his work really improved, like I really feel that. But I feel like even with me, like I have so many people that text me and hype me up, and I'm like,
doesn't mean anything.
Like, thank you for going out your way and text me saying like I like your work, but it a lot of it is just so ungenuine. It feels like you want a 50% discount off your next video off me. That's all it feels like. I really do. There's a few people that I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, well, there probably is a few people there too. That's the reality of Instagram. But no, I definitely know what you mean. Like, that's why I was telling you that Tesla video. I think it's the best one you've ever made. And it's not that there is a serious jump in content, but also I haven't seen every video you made, because I know you make a lot of like, what's the word, corporate stuff, like client-based stuff that
just stuff I don't put up, I guess, as well.
Yeah, exactly. But that video, it was topped everything. Like, I like the Gordon's video that you made more than I like the 3D video you made, which is interesting because I remember you telling me about that one with the red.
Oh yeah, like that wasn't even, that was literally just me practicing how to use the red. Like I wasn't trying to be creative. I literally just practiced, uploaded it, because honestly I think it kind of looks cool, and I like that company, so I was like, why not?
Bro, check this.
Like nothing deep about it. A red, no way. Oh,
imagine I had a red underneath. Yeah, I just put aside some cash and said I'd pull out a Komodo.
3D is so good. For anyone listening, 3D will have you so hyped for the gym. Oh my god! And
it's not as fizzy as Monster.
Yeah, but it's not as flat as that BCAA drink.
Yes, it's a perfect middle spot.
Because I drink that and I'm like,
yeah. It's like, what am I doing here? Am I trying to be healthy, or am I trying to go to the gym? You know? No, but that makes a lot of sense about giving feedback and stuff to content, because like, I know when you tell me that, you genuinely mean it. So it actually sits with me, and like I can resonate on it, and it makes me feel good. That's why I wanted to tell you about the Tesla video, because I genuinely did think that is the best video I've seen you make. And it's like, it just seemed enjoyable. Like I just felt like but I could tell that it didn't take like hours upon hours. Does that make
20
sense?
minutes, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's a lot faster than I thought now, but it's nuts though, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, but it's cool. Like I definitely I feel kind of starved from making videos like that at the moment. Like I and it's my fault because the weekend comes around and I'm just like, oh, I'll do it, and then I don't, or I decide to make a YouTube video instead. But I'm gonna set like every month I want to kind of make like a cinematic video like that and just challenge myself and just be like, okay, I'm going somewhere and I'm just gonna make one, you know. But
sure.
yeah, that was, if you're into cameras, you would have had a field day in that conversation. If you don't know what cameras are, you probably would have been gone by now. So, but that's perfect. That's why I wanted to make a podcast though, because I wanted to just be able to talk about whatever we wanted to talk about, having the freedom, just have a good conversation. But it's something about knowing you're being recorded and that people are going to be listening. You kind of choose your words a bit better, and you're kind of, personally, I feel like I actually speak better. Like I don't waffle as much.
What, on a podcast?
Pardon?
On a podcast, you mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're like, almost, I can't really go off topic. But I am going to go off topic here from what we were just speaking about, because I know
I'm going to go off topic first.
Yeah, okay, go for it.
Happy birthday to Dylan.
Thank you.
Let's go. What age? 21?
20.
22.
Just 20. Just 20.
Oh, shit. That's
what a reaction, bro.
You know, and it's weird because you just think someone's older than you, and then they say they're like 2 years younger. You're like,
it's the water in Rathdrum, bro. Shit,
it's
different down here. No. Thank you, though. I appreciate that. I think it's because just from work as well. Like, this, I swear to God, bro, when I don't have this.
Yeah, if you shave that, I say you'd look young.
It's a different ball game, because like once this is gone, my face is round. This makes me look like I'm like 24, because it makes me look like I'm like, I've been out of college for a few years. I haven't it together. That's funny, but thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you. But yes, I want to talk to you about this, and I think you know what I'm going to ask you about, because you're the only person that I know that has an expertise. We'll say expertise. You know a lot more than the average person, and it's definitely very apparent nowadays. Like, it's literally all I hear about. Genuinely, there's always something to do with it. Either Logan Paul's selling it, some person's putting up a reaction to the Bitcoin hitting $100. Have you seen that video on YouTube?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. And then the same dude put up a video like a week ago, and he was like, I just sold my first NFT for $1,500, or for a full Ethereum. So that's like $1,400, is it? $1,400.
Yeah, around that, yeah.
But so cryptocurrency is what that coded scripture was meant to say there. But when I met Ben, I must have met you now about 6 months ago nearly, would it be?
Yeah, let's say 6 months.
Let's say 6. Nice, yeah, it is. Nice and round. So about a month later, we were just chatting, and you kind of started talking to me about cryptocurrency. And then I just started to show a bit of an interest. But you, like, I always say this to anyone that asks me about it, like, you taught me everything that I know as of yet, because you were so patient with me. Like, you were like, oh, try this, get this app, set it up like this, if you see this. And I remember texting you one of the days, I think it was the day that XRP was being pumped, and people were throwing into it, and I texted you, and I was like, bro, I don't know what to do, and I freaked out and I sold. But you just had such good words of wisdom, and you just gave me the time of day. So for that, sir, thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah, I think the last podcast that we filmed, you spoke a lot about it, but you actually had very interesting points. You were kind of talking about, like, you were explaining to me like the main cryptocurrencies to kind of watch out for, from your opinion. And obviously, like, I want you to speak freely and not feel like someone's going to fact check you, because this podcast is to be taken with an absolute tablespoon of salt. What we say here is opinionated, but also it is informative.
Can we just say a bucket of salt? Not even a tablespoon.
Yeah, a bucket of salt.
The whole bucket.
Do not quote us to anything this is not financial advice. Do not quote us to anything you hear in this podcast. No, but yeah, kind of, can you give me a rundown just of, even when did you get started in crypto? Actually, is a good place to start. Like, when was the first time that you were like, okay, I'm going to put my head to this?
So let's go back 3 years.
Yeah.
oh man, I hate saying that word. I keep saying tree on TikTok, and everyone comments with like tree emojis.
Really?
Like tree. I'm like, fuck, I don't know how to say the word tree. I don't know how to say it that.
That's funny. That was beaten into me from a kid. Actually, quick segue about TikTok and podcasts. I put up a podcast clip from the podcast I did with Rob, and I got my first hater. Someone commented. Yeah, I know. Someone commented.
Well, TikTok and Rob is. Yeah. I seen him getting it the last while.
I got two. One was like, "Oh, why didn't you go to Longitude, Rob?" And then the other one was something like, "Oh, great, not another fucking stupid podcast for fuck's sake." I know. It was so aggressive, and the tone, I could feel the tone, and it was just like user 2486794.
Which is way more annoying. If someone with a proper name gave me hate, I'd be like, okay, cool.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, they didn't like my stuff. This guy was probably just after getting detention and was so upset, and he saw that podcast clip, and he heard me probably talking nonsense, and he's like, I'm gonna hate him. But that's a complete segue. Also, actually, while we're on the topic of TikTok, if you do not know, Ben has a crypto Benjamin, isn't it? Yeah. And how's that doing, actually?
I didn't post in about a week, but I have about 3,000 followers on it with like 6 videos, so it's okay.
That's very good, bro.
It's grown every day. Like I said, I get about 25 to 50 followers a day.
That's great.
Which is fine. Like if I stay consistent, I'll keep growing it. But the really interesting thing about it is I only get followers on days the market's going up. So when the market goes down like -5, -10%, that account is empty.
That's crazy.
It's so funny. Like people only want to hear the information. This is actually a good segue into it.
Yeah.
People only want to hear the information when something's going up. But I always tell people, when something's going up, you're too late. Like people like me that's in it the last 2 years, I'm getting all the profits. Like you're literally throwing your money at me.
Yeah.
It's called like chasing a green candle. You know what I mean? You see a green candle and you're like, oh, I need to invest. But like, you're too late.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can still earn money. Like,
not as much though. Like for me, like for example, I bought XRP when you told me about it, and it was up a good bit. I think it was like 58 cents at that point, and I think I put money into it, and then I lost a load because they dropped off, and then there was that whole lawsuit. But it's starting to come back up now, but it's much more gradual. But it's like, this is the predicament I'm in, and I'm sure a lot of people who invest now are. It's like, when do you know when to cash in now? Because it's like, how low does it go? I suppose you don't. That's the thing which you've told me. It's like, you have to have patience.
Yeah, like that. I guess that is true. But so this year is slightly different because so Bitcoin kept hitting all-time highs, kept going up. And then all the altcoins, which are all the other coins, they're also like going up. Like there's some altcoins going up like 100% in a day. Like it's starting to get real crazy. But basically the whole crypto market works in like cycles. So every 4 years it follows a cycle. And we're in like, I think we're in the 4th cycle. Sorry, the 3rd cycle. Oh, what am I saying? The 3rd cycle, but the 4th year. So we're in like where Bitcoin was meant to go up, because at the end of last year, there was like a Bitcoin halving. And then after that, it goes up. So basically everything follows this same cycle. So where I'm getting my information from, and like where other people are getting their information from, is literally just following what happened 4 years ago and 8 years ago. Because everything that's happening is like exactly the same. It's just like
yeah.
And now it's happening exactly again, but each time it happens, it goes way higher. And that happened this year. Like I've been looking at this for 2 years, right? And the people I follow, they're like, January of 2021, Bitcoin's gonna keep on hitting all-time highs. And now that happened. Like everything they said happened to a T.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like a big believer. I'm like, holy shit. Like it's literally just cycles. It's so easy to make money. And that's why I'm very like passionate about it, because people are just like 12-year-olds are changing their lives.
Yeah.
Like,
because
12-year-olds are making like $1 million.
That's their generation. They're born into when it's becoming normal. So it's like, okay, because I made a little bit on the last, there was a point when everything went up serious, like Bitcoin went up, XRP, VT, everything was like everything was up. And I made a nice bit then. But then it's like, for me personally, because I don't understand it and like I don't have a lot invested, I'm kind of just dipping my toes in because I don't fully understand it yet, but I'm starting to understand it more and more by experience. Like I've lost money and I've made money. So it's like I think you have to do both of those things before you have an understanding for it.
Yeah.
And like when you say, what is it a bull cycle? Is that what people are talking about? I've heard that word mentioned.
People call it a bull run.
Okay, but that's just
like, so the bull run for the altcoins still didn't happen. So like people say it's going to last till at least the end of summer or like September, October. And like it is happening. Like my portfolio goes up weekly and monthly. Like when you look at the charts, it is going up.
Yeah, you see, like, that's when then I'm like, when do you, as myself or as another person who's only become interested in it and say the last year, like when do you know when to invest now? Because if everything's going up, theoretically you could invest today and it would go up, but there's the likelihood that it crashes. And then if you invest while it's high, because right now I would say they're all arguably relatively high in comparison to what they were a month ago.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's kind of like, when do you pick the time to invest? Do you wait for it to taper off? Now, I'm not asking you these questions because I know obviously you don't, like you can't tell people when, but you would definitely have a better idea than most. And it's like, it's interesting now because it's gaining more traction. And I'd say you especially notice it because you've been interested in it for so long. So it's like, have you noticed that everything's spiking because of social media in a way?
Yeah, like it's amazing, but it's so cool because 2 years ago, these people like predicted what was going to happen. They're like, this is going to happen. Then all the famous people will shout it out. And then all the normal people will be like, hey, you invested in Bitcoin? And it's like, I just seen everything I heard for the last 2 years play out in like 2 months. And it's so amazing to see because I'm like, holy shit. And now all these hedge funds are putting their money into it. Tesla put their money into it. Like all these big banks.
That's another thing. Banks are starting to get on board. That's been the biggest change, I think, is that banks are going to start. I think there was mention that Visa is going to start accepting it as a payment. And I think that was on the same weekend that Elon Musk put 1.5 billion into it from Tesla cash. And that just went nuts. That was the weekend where everything was up.
Yeah. I think so. I don't invest in things that like have what am I saying? What the fuck am I saying? You can just cut that out and start from here. I invest in things that have like long-term potential, as in the company is really strong. Mm-hmm. Like I don't invest when something just starts going up. Yeah. I'm looking for like really good companies with really good CEOs with really good like utility coins, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's why I'm so confident in what I hold, because I'm holding essentially like stock of really good companies that I think will be here in 10 years. You know what I mean?
I understand that.
Whereas most people are just like, okay, let me jump in and try get a quick 500.
Yeah. And I've seen
I'm like, wait, only 500?
Yeah, you've been like 500K, bro.
Yeah, like there's fucking kids way younger than me making 500K. Easily, like so easily.
But that, you see, it's crazy.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not one of them because I'm a bit late. Like I'm only here 2 years. I'm only learning everything. But now I'm at a place where I'm like, oh shit, I know how this works.
Yeah, I know.
And that's why I'm like very confident. Like I have these things that like run off my laptop. They're called like master nodes.
Okay.
And it's basically just like I'm running a piece of the blockchain off my Wi-Fi, and every month I get like a reward.
Oh, okay.
So I get paid like tokens every month. So I know no matter what, once I'm running these servers, I'm just getting paid in like crypto.
That's interesting. So
and every year, if it goes up, your income goes up. Because like there's a project I'm in that's like really early. That's like 0.1 of a cent.
Whoa.
Per token. So like but I'm in that because the company looks good, you know? It has a good CEO and they have a good mission statement.
Yeah, it's interesting because you've got a great eye for that, I think, which I personally wouldn't. And that's why I feel kind of,
Yeah.
I put time into crypto and I definitely see it as being a genuine potential income in the future. I don't think it would ever be my sole income. But again, I do think that there's a lot of money to be made. And I don't think we're too late. I just think we're not at
No.
optimum time. I don't think you're too late for another 10 years because it's just going to continually go up.
And that's why it doesn't really, if you're in it for like a long-term investment, it doesn't really matter if you put your money in today or tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or next week or in 2 months' time. Because in 10 years, it's going to be probably 10x what it is today. You know, that way?
Which makes sense. I think it's also hard to put it in when it's like you see it dropping up and down. You're like, oh, I could have got it a bit cheaper. But I think, as you said, if you're in it for the long term, you're talking like these little ups and downs now being minuscule and probably not even noticeable.
Yeah, because most people. So did you ever look at like a chart of like any stock or crypto?
Yeah,
and they're just like candlesticks?
Yeah.
It's like most people look at the 1 hour time frame, and that's okay if you're like day trading.
Yeah.
But I zoom out and look at the 1 week or 1 month time frame, and they're like, you see, it's like like it's really straightforward to look at. So I'm like, I don't care if something drops 50% in a day. I'm here for 20,000% on the upside.
Yeah. Okay.
Which happens because crypto's so new. That's where the potential is. You know, that way.
Another interesting one is I never heard of Cardano before I heard you mention it. So I kind of flagged it in my mind and I was like, oh, that's interesting. But I saw a week ago that boy is up a lot.
So I don't know when I told you about Cardano, but when I started telling like everyone I know about Cardano, ADA, I told most people at like 22 cents.
Isn't it?
And now it's
60?
What?
Is that 60 now?
Now it's at about 120.
What?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I talk in like dollars when I talk about crypto.
Okay,
my bad.
Okay. No, that's my fault.
Everyone I watch is like they only talk in dollars. Like I don't know one person in Ireland that talks about crypto, so every figure is dollars.
I think I was probably a bit far off in my head anyways. The last time I checked it, because I was kind of watching it to see when I should put money into it, but it hadn't come back down, but it went up. Like there was a point where I was looking at like a week graph and it was like boom and bang. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was the week of Elon Musk.
Yeah, and like the thing is, if you look at every cryptocurrency at the moment, all the graphs are pretty much the same. Yeah, they go boom, boom, and like that's just people. They get their profits out of Cardano and then put it into something else, and they cycle through different things.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, like there will be a time when, like the utility of a coin matters. So people are like, okay, VT is an amazing company. We're going to invest in that company. But now it's just like people looking for profits pretty much.
Yeah.
It's like speculation, you know?
It's more like average Joes, I think, now. Like people like myself, other people that are like, okay, let's put a bit in here. Let's put a bit in there, see what happens. Whereas, as you say, like hedge funds are starting to get involved now. Like big companies are starting to put big amounts of cash. And it's like, I think people should get involved now before it gets too late, to the point where it's like you need big cash to make big cash.
Yeah, and
it's kind of there now in a way.
Yeah. It's just
sorry.
It's crazy that, just one last thing is like, it's crazy that people still don't understand it.
Yeah.
It upsets me because I'm like, fuck. You're missing out on the biggest opportunity, and in 20 years time you're going to be like, oh, now we pay using whatever the coin is. And you miss, like, it's just so painful, especially when smart people don't understand it. Yeah. It's like, I love going back to this, but it's exactly the same as being in the 90s and not understanding the potential the internet has. It's just exactly the same, where people were like, who's going to use the internet? What the fuck's the internet? And that's the same now. People are like, what the fuck is Bitcoin? It's a scam.
Bro, that's one thing now I can't deal with, because if you think Bitcoin's a scam, you got donkey brains, because realistically it can't be a scam. That's probably a bit offensive to say you have donkey brains. You don't have donkey brains. I've been watching a lot of Sunny in Philadelphia, and I don't know if you ever watched that show. Highly
No.
recommend it to everyone. But yes, that's a line from it, so probably not appropriate. But there you go. But it is true, though. It is true, because I think, why would Elon Musk, possibly the smartest man on the planet at the moment, be putting so much money into something if it was a scam?
Yeah, and yeah. The thing is with Bitcoin, which is interesting. So Bitcoin is like the number one. It has like it's like first to market, so it just did so well.
Yep.
Bitcoin as like a service is really shit because it's like it uses so much electricity and it's really slow.
Mm.
So it's terrible. Like no one's going to use it. Like the whole world is never going to operate off Bitcoin because it's like a really old system.
Okay.
But since it's the first, it's always going to be like a store of value. So it's kind of like gold. We don't trade with gold, but like Bitcoin is just like, yeah, I guess people say store of value.
So you don't hold, yeah, it's like gold. You don't trade with gold, but you do hold gold.
Yeah, and that's it. Like Bitcoin is very, in comparison to some newer like altcoins now, like Bitcoin technology is just so old and so inefficient.
It's very interesting because I don't think, myself included, a lot of people understand that each one of these coins, would I be correct in saying that it's a form of technology, each piece of coin? So say XRP is a form of technology, Bitcoin is another, like they're all separately. It's hard for me to wrap my head around it because
it's kind of more like, and this is me talking like generally,
yeah.
There's a company, and then maybe the company or the company's system has a coin that like the coin is used to operate the system.
Right.
You know that way?
If I'm going to try and put this into an analogy to help myself understand it and maybe someone else that's listening. So imagine, who can I give an example of a company now? Let's just say Tesla off the top of my head. Say Tesla had to design, which they do, electric cars, okay? And they needed something that would guarantee them that their motors would be transported from a certain place to a certain place every time. Would that be a system that, say, like XRP could be involved in, or Chainlink, or am I completely off the ball there? I think I am. I think that was a bad analogy.
It's hard to say because every company is very different. But like, let's go to XRP for 1 second. XRP is for like transferring like value, I guess. You know. Okay. So to transfer XRP is like it would take 3 seconds for it to settle, and that's where like the value is. You know, banks take like 4 to 7 days to actually settle a payment.
Mm-hmm.
So if the whole world was to use it was cut this still.
I can't cut it, bro.
No, you're gonna. Okay, you're not. Okay, it's fine. Sorry, people.
Keep it real. Don't ever apologize to the people unless you say something horrible. You're talking fantastically. Honestly, you've actually. I feel much more intelligent after this conversation. Genuinely. So thank you. But continue.
Basically, if the whole world was to transact in XRP and everything was settled within 3 seconds, there would be no money tied up. So there's no money like tied up in banks. Like right now, there's billions tied up in banks.
Waiting to be.
And like they're called like Nostro Vostro accounts.
Yeah.
And if you use these currency, it's kind of like the way you work for a month and you get paid at the end of the month.
Yeah.
Well, imagine everything was so quick, like the internet. This is like the next stage of the internet.
Yeah.
That when you work, you swipe your card and that money's in your card. That's kind of what it's like.
Okay.
I feel like that's kind of where we're going. XRP isn't going to be the one we use. XRP is kind of for banks, but there is other tokens, and like that's what they're like. You know, like I do a job for you and you send it to me, kind of like Revolut. You know,
it would be yeah. Okay, I think I'm getting there. So it would be XRP is essentially a transporting token. It's used for banks to readily and quickly transport money from one bank account to another. So again, let's go analogy here, because if you're not watching, I'm holding up a can and a cup. This is the bank, this is the other bank, okay? And I am XRP in the middle. This bank wants to send money here. On a normal transaction, it would be like, a week. With XRP, it's like XRP comes in, takes it, and walks over here much faster. But XRP is like the middleman.
Yeah. That's actually yeah, that's a really good one.
I'm just because I'd say I'm probably hurting your brain a little bit there, but
No, that's perfect the way you said that.
okay, so it's almost like the middleman. It's like it provides the service.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel much more understanding of it now, because I know then there's different. Well, then would VET is a transport, is it?
Yeah, so I'm not even going to talk on this because it is different. So VET is a token from a company called VeChain. VeChain is like a supply chain management company.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure like the VET is like how you use their supply chain, as in like you're using a VET token. But I actually could be wrong, so I'm just going to say I don't know.
It's quite complex. Like I'm genuinely there.
Every company does something completely different. Mm-hmm. Like some companies do the same thing, but like none of them are the same.
Yeah.
You know, they're all like, yeah. But just for a quick example, like a comparison between like Bitcoin and XRP, just as an example, Bitcoin does like 5 transactions per second, but XRP does 1,500 transactions per second.
Whoa.
You get me? So like the difference is huge in terms of technology.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And Bitcoin, I don't have the number, but Bitcoin uses like the same energy per transaction as like a house.
Whoa.
So like that's why people, as in like Bitcoin is always going to be number one, at least for the next decade or two.
Yeah.
Well, as in technology, it's dog shit. That's what I mean when I say Bitcoin's technology isn't good. Like no one's going to use Bitcoin to like send money.
It's just not feasible.
And here's another one that people probably know is Ethereum. I also always say that wrong.
It's like Ethereum.
I say it like Ethereum.
Anyway, there you go.
Most people do know. I'm going to just say it as Ethereum, whatever.
Own it.
I sent Ethereum to my like external wallet. It was actually, I always like buy cryptos for my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like when I'm in her house, she'll give me money. I put them in her wallets and stuff.
Yeah.
It's great. I sent Ethereum to, I think it was my external wallet because she like owed me money.
Yeah.
And I never like transact in Ethereum. I transact in all the quick coins where it's like, you know, a few seconds and I have my cash.
Yeah.
And it took, take a guess how many hours it took.
Hours to get your money?
Yeah, take a guess. Because basically they're really like backed up. Like there's some problems with like scalability and stuff. Okay. And Ethereum as like a blockchain is just doing really bad and it has really high fees.
I'm going to say, because you said it with that tone, I'm going to say 17 hours.
22 days.
What?
No joke. No joke.
So you're saying you sent yourself Ethereum to take it out in cash and it took you 22 days to make that withdrawal. Okay, that's crazy. That's absolutely horrendous, isn't it?
One thing that I was using like a really bad exchange, and with Ethereum you use like it's called a gas fee, and you can pick how high your gas fee is. So like it basically has more priority on the blockchain.
Yeah.
But on this exchange I used, you couldn't pick the gas fee, so we were just getting the lowest, which means it gets like put into their blockchain, but none of the people that run it want to do it because it's like such low payment. So when so many people use the blockchain, basically no one gives a fuck until there's like room.
Yeah. So
and that's when like that was the month where everything's blown up, so everything's like congested.
Heavy people are pulling. And would you say is the blockchain then, again, for myself and for viewers maybe that don't fully understand it, would it be correct in saying the blockchain is like the motorway for cryptocurrency? It's like the transporting metric for all of these softwares and coins, maybe.
You definitely heard that somewhere, didn't you?
No, I'm trying to understand it in my head, because with the way you said it there, as in the lowest and the highest, how I imagine it is like 1 rail, 2 rail, 3, 4, 5, and it's like a line, and they'll eventually get to where they're going, and that's the motorway that they're on. Because you see, I don't understand this, but I'm trying to understand it. So for me to understand it, I need to like put it into real simplified kind of English analogies for myself. But that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that is right. Like, I don't know much about the actual like blockchain, the blockchain side of it. Like, it's I don't really even care. Like the thing I'm good at is just looking at numbers and like making money through maths, like real simple maths. I'm like, put it in here, take out here.
Yeah.
You got a percentage gain. I 10x my money. Like that's all I look at. But like as time goes on, I try to understand blockchain and how some companies have like really good products.
Yeah.
Because that's what I invest in, is really good companies that
like actual stable companies that won't say you invest in, like, let's just say floppy coin, and some dude made it and he has no credentials, but he's made it. It's like realistically it's probably not going to be around for long. It's probably
like Dogecoin.
Yeah, Dogecoin. I actually put money into Dogecoin the other day because I just felt like, why not? Yeah, because I'm like, I'll probably make a couple of euro on it and then I'll just pull out, because Elon Musk tweeted about it again and I keep seeing how much it goes up and down. I was just like, I may as well just to witness it. But it's not like, that's a good example of a coin that probably will never do anything.
Like Dogecoin was made as a meme. It has like no utility, but at the same time, it brought like thousands of people into the crypto space that now put their money into Cardano, XRP, XLM.
Yeah.
Like in that regard, like some people are like, oh, Dogecoin, so it's like, oh, what the fuck, my protein. Dogecoin is so shit.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, it's like Dogecoin just made our markets go up like this. Like as a whole, like all these people are pushing their money into like Bitcoin, Ethereum, everything. Yeah. So for like the bigger picture, amazing.
So they like kind of came to you guys through what would you say? Meme. Yeah, through a meme. Isn't that interesting? But it's amazing. Like, yeah, because who is it? I don't know the ins and outs of it now, but I know Elon Musk is a big supporter of it, in the sense that he just thinks it's funny and it's a meme and he talks a lot about it. The reason I keep referring to Elon Musk is because I'm not a big crypto head. I kind of know the ins and outs of it, and I hear, like, I follow Elon Musk on Twitter, so I see him tweet about it and I see him put it in his bios and stuff, and I know if Elon tweets, get your money, because it's going to the moon. But now that's very interesting. You've definitely helped me understand it a little bit more again. It's a lot though. You could do a college course on it for 4 years and you probably still wouldn't understand it fully, because it's such a new technology. It's changing literally so much.
You know, that way it's just like, whoa.
But I love that. That's why as I said, like, I want people to take this with a bucket of salt. Like, I don't want people to think that Ben is giving us like super financial advice, but I would say you are giving us super advice. Like, honestly, I have taken your advice on board, and I am here to be a product and say that I have been successful as of now. Have I made millions of euros or thousands? No, but have I made some euros? I have. So that wins.
I think, and just to end this like little segment,
sections. Yeah.
I speak to some people, and like some people I spoke to are like, oh, the blockchain might not catch on, or blah 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 blah, because they don't understand what blockchain is. First of all. Actually, also Gary Vee talking about blockchain like every day now, which is nice.
He's gone big into crypto, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he knew about it years ago. He's not really like a big investor. I heard him say like he kind of missed out, but like for him it doesn't matter. Like,
he's got so much.
He has his shit going.
But he did say that. He said that early on. He was just like, nah, whatever.
Yeah.
And now he's biting his tongue. But that just shows you that even the likes of Gary Vee aren't right every time. You know, no human is consistently right. Like, everybody looks to Gary Vee for motivation, for advice. I think he's an extremely talented speaker. He's very intelligent and he's very driven and motivated, and that comes across. But he's also human. And it's like, I always say this about Gary Vee. I followed and unfollowed that man so many times on Instagram. It's insane. I'd say I've followed and unfollowed him about 6 or 5 times, because I go through phases of being like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then being like, why are you still shouting about wine? You know?
That's funny because I do the exact same thing.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do.
I have to unfollow him sometimes.
Yeah, and I think in a way it's because he makes me feel bad about myself sometimes, and that's great.
He says the same thing. Like, like every single, and I was watching him today, and he was hyping me up so much. I made my website. I did fucking all these like Google ads, like everything in depth.
Yeah,
just I saw because he was hyping me up.
Yeah.
And for that, he's good. But when you watch his shit every day, because like he really does post on every platform every day,
multiple times.
All you hear is like, well, I came from the Soviet Union. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, fuck, we know.
Yeah.
But like, he's a legend. Gary Vee is the GOAT.
Why he's so successful, I think, is because every time he tells that story and a new follower follows him, they instantly know his background, whereas no one else does that. But look at how much he grows consistently.
He's amazing. He is honestly the biggest inspiration of our time. That's
he's a very
for good like business-minded people, you know. Amazing.
And what actually, just on the topic of website there, what do you use to set up your website?
I use Wix.
Wix. Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah. Some people I know use WordPress, and I did try using WordPress at a point.
That's meant to be very old-fashioned, isn't it?
It's not old-fashioned. It's very it's like building a computer in comparison to using a laptop.
Yeah, okay.
So Wix does everything, Squarespace does everything, great website builders. Like I'm setting up a website at the moment using Squarespace, and it's great, but WordPress gives you 100% flexibility and freedom. Like you can do everything you want on it, but it's much harder. It's much harder.
Yeah, it's definitely time consuming.
It's the kind of thing that you would want to put aside like a good outlet of time to put like focus into it, and that's why I just pulled out, because I was looking at it for like I'd say a few months, and I would just sit down for a few hours and get nowhere, and it just got to a point where I was like, this is just not a good expense of my time as such.
Like with Squarespace, you're gonna get a website done in like 4 hours, you know.
Yeah, quite easy, and it's a matter of structuring it properly. Like that's what I'm kind of I'm trying to put a little bit of energy, because I always said I wanted to launch a website like before I was 20, and I've had it ready. I'm just literally kind of, as you were saying about recording a video for it, I'm kind of the same. I'm kind of like putting together a bit of a video because I want it to be there, but like I've got my domain. Kind of like a weird thing. It's just like a tick box for myself. It's like I want to just say, oh yeah, here's my website. If you want to contact me, go through this. It's just like an officializing thing, you know?
You need to go now, don't you?
Thank you. I heard a shout. Did you hear my phone buzzing there?
No.
Yeah,
I just looked at the time.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Look, I will finish it up. We have 3 minutes. I said 10 past, so we have 3 minutes. That is, thank you so much for reminding me. Jesus, my phone was buzzing, but I was looking here, and then I looked over and I had text, and I thought you heard it buzzing, and you.
Now, where would a boy be going on a level 5 lockdown day?
What? I mean, no. Safika's in my close contacts. Everyone can get off of my back. Get out of here, haters.
No, I'm playing, bro. I'm playing.
I know you are. I'm joking. That's why I joked back. If you were genuinely attacking me, I probably would have gotten uncomfortable.
Can we just do like a little segment just for TikTok? Just to like get hate? Oh my God. We just do that and then react. I'll fucking do a reaction video.
So what do you want to do? You
want me now. You start with a sentence.
Wait, so what am I going to say?
Hello, Chavala. I just shout out to TikTok fucking haters.
Oh, we're going to give a shout out to the TikTok haters.
Or we say something really dumb.
So I think personally, this whole like cryptocurrency thing and like finances and stocks, I think that it's all a big scam. I think that Elon Musk is probably the closest thing we've seen to an alien, and that he's in affiliation with Mark Zuckerberg. And Mark Zuckerberg, the guy who owns YouTube, that dude is just an absolute mental case. And I personally believe that if you've ever watched any of Mark Zuckerberg's videos, you will know that he's very close to a dinosaur. But it's all an opinion based, as I said, on Coffee Talk, episode number 9 with Ben O'Neill. And if you have seen the creator of YouTube, Mark Zuckerberg, around, that was painful.
But Dylan, did we land on the moon?
I don't think there's a point in landing on the moon though, bro. I think that Elon Musk has does he not have a station set up on the sun?
Oh, that's funny if you clip it, please.
Will we put that clip in? I will. I'll put that on my TikTok. That would be very funny.
No, please. I'll even let you can write in the caption like
wrecked haters.
I'll write something like really fucking sarcastic.
Yeah. Mark Zuckerberg and Elon land on the sun. So stupid.
Anyways, we can finish this one up.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. But no, that was a great chat. I'm sure we will be back to converse here again, because
it was short, bro.
It was short. Well, I think we started at about 10. Well, I think we started at 6:05. It's 7:10 now. So that's an hour and 10 minutes. You see, but you don't notice it when you're in a podcast, do you?
Yeah, it's weird.
It flies by. Podcast time is different to human time because it's literally like you could be speaking for about 20-30 minutes and it feels like you've been on the call for 5. It's great though. The first 20 minutes always is a bit of a warm-up process. Then it hits halfway and you're just flying to the moon, to the sun, let's say. But no, thank you very much, sir. It's a pity we kind of have to wrap it up very fast. That is my fault for leaving it too late. But I appreciate you, sir. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for sharing your knowledge. And I'm sure we will run it back another time.
Can I just plug?
Yeah, I'll plug everything.
Let's just
plug everything.
So, if you're looking for any video or photo work, my Instagram is Ben O'Neill Productions. My website is benoneillproductions.com. And my email is info@benoneillproductions.com.
Boom, boom. If I had those buttons, you know, the guy who does Charlie Cloth, who does the fire in the boots, I'd be like, that is fire, bro. Oh my God.
Last thing as well. Billie Eilish's documentary is fantastic. If you didn't watch it, watch it.
I will take that into consideration because
I'm surprised you didn't watch it. Watch it? Watch it.
I'm surprised you haven't watched the documentary yet, sir. What platform is it on? Is it on Netflix?
It's on Apple TV.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's interesting, bro. I don't have Apple TV. That's a bit of a flex.
I got like a year free with my new phone.
So did you get a 12?
Yeah.
I'd say that thing's juicy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you, bro. Again, Ben O'Neill's Productions, everybody. I will put all of your links down in the description. I'll actually get you to send them to me afterwards because I won't remember them from the podcast. So just send me the exact thing so I direct people straight to you. If you're looking for any videographer, photographer needs, if you look for any content creation needs, make sure to get in touch with Ben. He will do this job. He will make your videos good. He will make your content good. He is the man. Thank you very much, Ben. I appreciate the chat.